This is Wretched Radio with Todd Friel.
Deep Sigha. This is Wretched Radio. I received an email sent to idea@wretched.org. Somebody who will remain anonymous. I think that is a pretty understandable, asking how does a child cope with what is called a toxic parent. If you've never met this mom or dad, please note they are well-intentioned. Now, there might be some bad intentions mixed in, but overall, these are Christian parents who want to protect their children from the big bad world. Don't we all get that? But these are parents who never start to release their children. And of course, the parent, you control everything about a toddler. You control everything about little kids, and they obey. That's just the way that it works as a rule. But as they get older, they start, think, and they start naturally to desire to break away. This can cause all kinds of sin problems, contention, and all kinds of fights and division and hatred. So it's fraught with peril, the teenage years, but these are parents, they do not let go. Hey, sit up straight. Hey, the next time, you need to go back and make your bed again. That is not the way we make our bed in this family. I told you how to fold those corners. Fold those corners. I'm watching. You get the picture? They just control every aspect of a child's life. How prevalent is this? Well, I don't think it's predominantly. Now, let's be honest. We can all be this way to varying degrees. This is one who is just toxic. They don't let go. I once met 4 kids in a family who cried as they described this situation, specifically about mom. Again, mom, I know she was trying to, I know it, she was trying to do good. Could there be vanity in it? Yes, I know that. Could there be pride in it? Yes, I know that. Worried about the family reputation? Yep. I'm worried about it's motivated wrong? Yep, I got all of that. But overall, I think the desire is I want my kids to behave right, do right, and the way that they do that is really by acting like me. And so they try to control them, protect them. Music, you don't listen to anything. We don't give you a cell phone because you can't control it. Now you're wondering, how old were these kids? The youngest, if I recall correctly, was 18, or 4 of them. I believe the oldest was 27. Living at home, because you're not going to move out of here. And until you find the spouse I approve of, you're going nowhere. And do you know how many spouses had been approved of? None of them. Even though, and this girl sobbed, she had loved a boy who desired to marry her. And I can't recall exactly the issue that caused mom to go, nope. But it was something that there could have been other issues. But what was presented to me was he liked video games. Really? Now look, video games. It's debatable. I've got a strong position about video games and what can be acceptable and what isn't, and how that they can be a trap for a man and a young man. All of those things. We've talked about that before. But really, you're not going to let your daughter marry or even pursue a man who's godly, who loves the Lord, who maybe has a weakness for spending too much time on a video game. Wow. That is a toxic parent. And these kids were brutalized by it. And no, that's the wrong word. They weren't brutalized. So wounded. So grieved by it. Look, it is natural for our kids to desire to start to grow up. And I've said this before, and I know this is shocking to so many parents. You gotta, at some point, let the rope out and let your kids sin. Just like God lets the rope out with you. You gotta let them go to a degree. I get it. I understand, and different parents are going to have different boundaries. I understand. But if you're a parent who is hyper-controlling your child, and most likely you don't know it, I'm sure the woman who is controlling these 4 kids to that degree would say, I do not. I am absolutely an excellent parent doing the best for these kids that can be done. So you need some help in determining if you're that parent. Your spouse will know. And at some point, you're going to have to start to trust your kids. Might it be exaggerated? Perhaps. But if you've got 4 kids who behave well as a rule, who still live with you at the age of 27 because you've told them they can't move out and no spouse qualifies to take their hand in marriage, and they say to you through tears, yeah, Mom, you do. You got to listen to that. You got to hear them and start making adjustments. This is not easy. I get this. It's hard because you don't want your kids to not just crack their shins, but to fall off a cliff. You don't want that for your kid. But you got to want them to grow up and be godly too. And by protecting them, building a wall, a hedge of protection called you around them, you are not helping them. So what would I say to this person who wrote in about it? I'm sorry, I know it's hard. And this is going to be hard too. You've got an opportunity. You've got an opportunity to grow. This can wear down your patience. It can wear your patience. But patience is a virtue that can be a magnificent fruit from this. I know it's not easy, and I'm not saying you can't respectfully talk to your parents about this. I don't know what your ages or circumstances are. I'm talking in generalities. Yes, you can talk to them, but oh, the fruit that can come from this. You could. You're listening to the most well-organized radio program on this station at this time. I just happen to have this note sitting here. This is from John James, 1848. The highest class in the school of Christ, Hebrews 6:12, so that you may not be sluggish, but imitators of those who through faith and patience inherit the promises. Listen to what this man wrote. By patience, we mean a quiet waiting amidst sufferings, sorrows, and insert toxic parents, angry spouses, brutal bosses, nasty neighbors. Amid sufferings and sorrows for the heavenly kingdom, we exhibit a patience, a quiet waiting. Patience is an uncomplaining willingness to remain any length of time and amidst any tribulation for eternal glory. Patience is a beautiful, sweet thing that God loves because he has it in abundance. No circumstances of life. Let the sufferer hear and drink in the soul-comforting thought. No circumstances of life may seem to ripen the Christian so fast or so perfectly for heaven as the experience of sorrow and affliction. Oh, then let our comforts go. Then let our eyes weep. Then let our hearts bleed. If our Father is thus ripening us for everlasting fruition and inconceivable bliss. Please note, this is not to suggest that you can't work to change your circumstances. Doesn't mean that. But it means that while you're in them, we patiently endure. This is why Luther said that home is a school of character. Toxic parents, they're going to build even more character, or they are just going to crush you and grind you down. He continues, quoting James 1:4, patience must do its complete work so that you may be mature and complete, lacking nothing. When we are enabled to exercise the grace of patience, we have reached the highest class in the school of Christ. Did you hear that? You can be put at the front of the class because of your patient enduring of a toxic parent. You have nothing more to learn upon earth, and you are ready and fit to depart and to be with Jesus, and have then obtained as much grace as can be possessed short of glory itself. Whoa. Whoa. Now this is, remember, let's keep our balance here. You didn't just hear me say, so take that Bible verse and call me in the morning, kids. No, it's not that easy. It's hard. You're going to need help. You're going to need support of others who are maybe enduring this, other people in your church who can encourage you to press on, knowing that your Lord is well pleased, that you are patiently enduring, fitting you for the kingdom. That will help you to endure, and it's going to change you, and it's going to make you an amazing person because you're going to be more like God, who is exceedingly, infinitely patient. When we are enabled to exercise the grace of patience, we have reached the highest class in the school of Christ. Patience, then, sufferer, patience. The first moment and the first glance of heaven will be an infinite recompense for all that you suffer, for all that you lose on earth. If every step on earth is a step of suffering, then let at each step be of patience. Weep you may. Murmur you must not. Nature may pay the tribute of a groan, but grace must pay it with a smile. Got a toxic parent? I'm sorry. It's hard. Keep honoring them. Keep obeying. Keep being an amazing kid. Keep trying to respectfully encourage them to let you go increasingly and demonstrate that you're worthy of that looser grasp, and grow in patience. And until tomorrow, go serve your king.
You know how that social media is. You gotta be plugged in and connected. So would you please like, subscribe, or share this video?